So Jason, tell us all about Team Up Athletics. What do you guys do?
Man, what don't we do? It seems like we do a lot. We got our hands on a lot of things in the sports world, but we are a team dealer, meaning we do custom uniforms, team jerseys, team apparel, corporate apparel, and all team equipment as well. We work closely with schools, city recreation departments, clubs, all different sports clubs, businesses and corporations for gear and swag, and we just encompass it all. And so we're a nationwide team dealer with our hands in all of those different things.
All right, and so you guys have been doing this since 2017, I understand, right? Well, what were you both doing before this? What was going on in your past lives before Team Up Athletics?
Well, that's a great question, and sometimes I ask myself, I'm like, what was I thinking, at one point? But no, I was my past life was in the sales world. I did medical sales for 13 years prior to this, so pharmaceuticals and then supplies, devices, those types of things, but prior to that, or even during that time, Damon and I started a small business and sold it. I had a couple businesses prior to that. Always wanted the entrepreneurial spirit, if you will. And so there just came a time around 2017 that I decided to make to make the switch and to do this and to get into business for myself full time. But yeah, my experience prior to this has always been in sales, in the outside sales world, mostly medical.
Okay, Damien, what about you? What's your background?
Yeah, Jason's always been the entrepreneur. I'm just the little brother that kind of tags along. He starts something and I follow along. But before this, I ran a team of project managers for a multi-level marketing company just here local, and
Okay.
it got big and corporate, and I just couldn't handle it anymore. I didn't like the management. I had a rough time with that, so. I hope none of them heard me say that. I should have thought about that. No, but I was anxious to get out, and it turned out to be a perfect time because Jason had grown to the point where he needed some help and needed somebody to join him, and I was ready to leave that rat race, and so it worked out perfect.
Well, the three of us have a lot in common. I, of course, worked in the corporate world, and more specifically, Jason, I was in medical device sales and pharmaceuticals. You lasted longer than me. I lasted 10 years. I couldn't wait to get out, and you lasted 12 years, so congrats.
Well, I mean, part of that was due to the industry, sticking on for a while. I had a
Yep.
great company. The company I worked for prior to this was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. Prior to that, in big pharma was a different story. That might be a little bit what you're talking about. But
Sure.
there's comes a time in your life that you look at things and you say, am I going to continue doing this? And what does the next 20 years look like? Or do I want to get into something that I'm really passionate about? And that was the crossroads that that I came to back in 2017.
So what inspired you to start Team Up Athletics? Because going from medical sales, pharmaceutical sales into specifically, athletic equipment or athletic, custom uniforms and stuff,
Yeah.
how did that come to be then?
Well, no, it's funny. I knew I wanted to do something that would align with my sales background. So that was the first and foremost. Secondly, I mean, I'm a big sports guy. Grew up playing football, baseball, basketball, played a lot of, football in high school, dedicated all my time and everything I had pretty much to the sport growing up. And so always have been a big sports person. And I also love the industry and know that it's a stable industry to be in. Youth sports or sports in general is great. So I started looking at opportunities, and when the opportunity to purchase a company called Robin Sports came up, I jumped on that. And that's where this all got started, was with the purchase of that company, which was more along the lines of an e-commerce, drop ship equipment to teams type of company. But my focus and vision was really to get it to a point where I could be the direct sales, have that direct sales aspect and build a team of sales reps and then move forward in this business. But it also didn't hurt that I have four boys who who all love and play sports as well. And so through coaching them and seeing them grow in sports, I saw that that was going to be a passion of ours for years to come.
Right.
So it was an easy decision once the opportunity came up.
Okay, well, I don't talk to too many founders that have acquired a company to start their business. Most of us, kind of bootstrap the business, just kind of started up with a vision. But in your case, buying Robin Sports, then renaming it Team Up Athletics. Would you share with the audience? Because I have other founders that are out there listening that would probably love to hear what were some of the benefits and what were some of the challenges by buying somebody's business that was already established.
Yeah, well, don't get us wrong. I mean, we bootstrapped this business. It is 100% different. I mean, it's totally different from what it was. So don't let me fool you by saying that was anything more than just, I guess, an entry into the industry. But there was definitely some benefits. Some of the benefits of purchasing the business was the opportunity to have a couple of the foundations built a little bit. There were a couple vendors that we used that were early on, so those came with the purchase, and a system or two. Nothing major, but we've reworked it pretty much from the ground up. So I would say the challenge really there were more challenges in purchasing a business than buying it, in my experience, but all in all, it worked together really well. And when I purchased the company, I knew that there was going to be a challenge of maintaining customers. There wasn't a whole lot of business going on. I mean, they were only doing about $150,000 a year in revenue, and so not a whole lot. My goals were obviously bigger, but maintaining whatever customers they had, and then the expansion was the first on my list. And how do we expand and grow in a local market and then nationwide? So Damon, I don't know, maybe you can help. Damon came on, just 2 years after I purchased the company, not even that, a year and a half, and really helped grow it early on as well.
I was just going to say that one of the best things that was acquired with that was the manufacturer and the relationship with the manufacturer that we still use to now. And they do a lot of our custom stuff, custom sublimated uniforms and apparel, and they've been great to work with, and they've been there from the beginning. So along with the vendors like you talked about have been helpful, but I would say that manufacturer is the one that really stuck around it and have helped to get us where we are now.
Excellent. Yeah. Damon, how did he talk you into joining him?
Like I said, it's not really hard, right? I kind of tagged along with him as a kid, but we owned a business before. He mentioned that it was garage floors and, garage organization. And so we knew that we could work well together.
Excellent.
And that's hard to do with sometimes when you're family, and yeah. As kids we hated each other. We never got along. That's maybe a story for another day. But we found out as adults we can work well together. We've got a mutual respect. We have similar work ethic, and we have different strengths and weaknesses, where his strengths are the kind of being that public facing, the salesman. He's really good at that, and I like to be in the background and not seen or heard. So it works out really good that way. And then, like I said, I was not really happy with my current job. I was just working insane hours but building a business for somebody else, and
right.
Just didn't want that. I was kind of done doing that, and feeling underappreciated and overworked and all the things that I'm sure a lot of people that go through this process have those same feelings. So
right.
We just got talking, and like I said, it was a really good time for him because he needed the help, right? And he needed somebody to come on to get him moving forward. It's too hard to do alone. So it was great. It was kind of a scary thing to do, right? Jump from that income that I had gotten used to, but man, it's been one thing. I mean, it's been worth it. It's been life-changing.
Thank you for tuning into the Emerging Franchise Brands podcast. For additional insights, guest applications, and to stay connected, visit us at efbpodcast.com. The Emerging Franchise Brands podcast is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed do not necessarily represent those of Emerging Franchise Brands, its host Frank Fiume, or Emerging Franchise Group LLC. Any discussed franchise or investment opportunity requires thorough investigation, obtaining proper disclosure documents, and expert consultation before making any investment decisions. The podcast and its host do not offer professional advice or endorsements, and they hold no responsibility for actions, representations, accuracy, or consequential damages related to the podcast content.